What is up, guys? EJ here, back with another video, and today is going to be my DVD collection for 2012 and part 1 of the drama section. This is probably actually going to be 4 parts because drama is my biggest section. So let's get started. So up first we have 12 Angry Men, classic from 1957, the collector's edition. I also got this on Criterion Collection from the Barnes & Noble sale in July. Great film by Sidney Lumet. Next we have 21 Grams from 2003. Great movie with Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, and Naomi Harris. Pretty tough and sobering subject matter, but great performances. Next we have 25th Hour from 2002, great film with Edward Norton. Barry Pepper is great in this film as well. A Spike Lee movie. Next we have Absence of Malice from 1981, I believe, with Paul Newman and Sally Field, directed by Sidney Pollack. Next we have Adaptation from 2002, great script by Charlie Kaufman. Nicolas Cage, Meryl Streep, and Chris Cooper are awesome in this film. Directed by Spike Jonze, same as Being John Malkovich. Next we have Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore from 1974 with Ellen Burstyn and Chris Christopherson. Early film by Martin Scorsese. Next we have All About Eve, one of my favorite films of the 50s. Bette Davis, just brilliant. A great film about the theater business. Next we have All the King's Men, the 1949 original. I also have the sequel from 2006, All the King's Men, with Sean Penn and Kate Winslet. Definitely not as good as the original, but I like this movie. Next we have All the President's Men, classic film from 1976 with Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman. One of the best films of the 70s about Watergate and the 2 reporters from the Washington Post who broke the story. Next we have Always, Steven Spielberg film from 1989 with Richard Dreyfuss, Holly Hunter, and John Goodman. Next we have American Beauty, great film by Sam Mendes from 1999. The winner for Best Picture that year, Kevin Spacey, Annette Bening, Thora Birch, what's her name, Mina Suvari, and Wes Bentley, all great as well. American History X from 1998, my favorite performance by Edward Norton. Great film this. Just a powerful movie, and it gets better every time you watch it. Next we have Amores Perros, or Life is a Bitch, or yeah, something like that. Great Spanish film by Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu from 2000. Next we have Anonymous on Blu-ray, very good film from last year, directed by Roland Emmerich, about the possibility that William Shakespeare did not actually write all his great plays and sonnets. Next we have Article 99 from 1992, great hospital drama with Ray Liotta, Kiefer Sutherland. Great cast, this movie. Next we have Atlantic City from 1981 with Burt Lancaster and Susan Sarandon. Next we have Atonement, great film from 2008 with James McAvoy and Keira Knightley. Saoirse Ronan, great in this as well. Next we have The Aviator, my favorite, well, one of my favorite Scorsese films of the past decade. Just an awesome cast and a great story, led by Leonardo DiCaprio as Howard Hughes. Next we have Awakenings, a great film from 1990 with Robert De Niro and Robin Williams. Next we have the Bader Meinhof Complex, great German film from 2009. Okay, moving down onto the Bees, Babel from 2000, what was this, 5 or 6. Very good movie with Brad Pitt, Cate Blanchett. Yeah, just a great film. Next we have Stanley Kubrick's Barry Lyndon from 1975. Just a gorgeous looking movie. The Basketball Diaries from 1995, early movie for Leo DiCaprio. Great film and a great performance by him. Great soundtrack as well. Beautiful Mind from 2001, the Best Picture winner of that year. Great Ron Howard film with Russell Crowe, Ed Harris, and Jennifer Connelly. Next we have Beckett from 1964 with classic Richard Burton and Peter O'Toole. Next we have The Bells of St. Mary's with Bing Crosby and Ingrid Bergman. Great film from the 40s, I believe. Yeah, 1945. Another great film from the 40s, The Best Years of Our Lives from 1946. Just a brilliant film with Myrna Loy, Frederick March, Dana Andrews, and Teresa Wright. Next we have The Big Chill from 1983. Great cast. People like Tom Berenger, Kevin Kline, Glenn Close, Meg Tilly, Jeff Goldblum, William Hurt. Just a great movie. Next we have Big Night from 1996. Great movie directed by it's either Tony Shalhoub or Stanley Tucci, one of the two. Stanley Tucci, that's right. And two guys who play brothers. They're both chefs trying to get their restaurant off the ground. Next we have Birdman of Alcatraz from 1962 with Burt Lancaster. Black Snake Moan, awesome film with Samuel L. Jackson and Christina Ricci. Boiler Room, the sort of junior version of Wall Street from 2000. Great movie with Giovanni Ribisi, Vin Diesel, Nicky Katt, and a good appearance by Ben Affleck in this film. You fall down. DeLorean just singing some GNR. Next we have Bobby from 2005. Great cast in this great movie about the assassination of Robert Kennedy. Next we have Boogie Nights, of course. Paul Thomas Anderson classic from 1997 with Mark Wahlberg, Julianne Moore, Heather Graham, Burt Reynolds. Just a great film. Next we have Born on the 4th of July from 1989. Great film by Oliver Stone. Brilliant performance by Tom Cruise. Next we have Bringing Out the Dead. Very underrated movie. One of Scorsese's sort of lesser known films, but brilliant performance by Nicolas Cage, Patricia Arquette, and I believe it's Tom Sizemore. Yeah, Tom Sizemore. Next we have Brothers from 2008, I believe. A very good movie with Tobey Maguire, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Natalie Portman. Next we have The Candidate from 1972. Great political film with Robert Redford. Next we have Carnal Knowledge from 1971 with Jack Nicholson, Arthur Garfunkel, and Margaret and Candice Bergen. I did a review of this movie for the Movie Reviewers 100. If you want to check that out, it's one of my not so good reviews, but I did the best I could. I'll leave a link in the description. Next we have Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, classic from 1958 with Elizabeth Taylor and Paul Newman. Speaking of cats, we have The Cat's Meow, a very underrated movie actually from 2002 with Kirsten Dunst, Eddie Izzard, and Carrie Elwes, Joanna Lumley, Jennifer Tilly. More Guns N' Roses, what the hell? Well, it's my favorite song by them, so you guys are just gonna have to deal with it. Changeling, a great movie by Clint Eastwood with Angelina Jolie and John Malkovich from, was this 2008, I believe? Another year, he made 2 movies. Next we have Chaplin, a great film from 1992 with a brilliant performance by Robert Downey Jr. as Charlie Chaplin. Next we have Charlie Wilson's War, one of my favorite films of 2007, again by Mike Nichols with Tom Hanks, Julia Roberts, and Philip Seymour Hoffman. Next we have Cinema Paradiso from 1988, just a beautiful film. If you're a movie lover, definitely check that one out. Next we have Citizen Kane, needs no introduction, Orson Welles classic, of course, from 1941. Next we have A Civil Action from, when did this come out? 1998, yeah, that's right. Very good courtroom drama with John Travolta. Next we have Cleopatra, the 1963 version with Liz Taylor and Richard Burton. Next we have Closer, another Mike Nichols film with Julia Roberts, Jude Law, Natalie Portman, and Clive Owen. Actually, this is pretty much a modern version of Carnal Knowledge in a way, but sort of more raunchy, a lot more swearing, and it's pretty vulgar at times, but it's a great film and the cast is great. Next we have The Color Purple from 1985, classic from Steven Spielberg with Danny Glover, I believe Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah were in this film as well. Next we have Coming Home from 1978, a great film about Vietnam vets with Jane Fonda, John Voight, and Bruce Stern. Next we have The Company Men, one of the most underrated films of 2010 on Blu-ray. Great cast, Ben Affleck, Chris Cooper, Kevin Costner, Tommy Lee Jones, and Maria Bello. Next we have The Contender from 2000, great film with Joan Allen, Gary Oldman, Jeff Bridges, and Christian Slater. Next we have The Conspirator, also on Blu-ray, but unfortunately it's like the Canadian version, that's why it's the same size as regular DVDs. But this great movie about the assassination of Lincoln, directed by Robert Redford with James McAvoy, Robin Wright, and Tom Wilkinson. Okay, Cool Hand Luke, sorry, I just can't help it. 1967 classic with Paul Newman, of course, George Kennedy, and J.D. Cannon. The Country Girl from 1954, one of my favorite Grace Kelly movies, also with Bing Crosby and William Holden. Next we have Crash, the Best Picture winner in 2005, film directed by Paul Haggis. Great cast, of course, Sandra Bullock, Don Cheadle, a host of others, Ryan Philippe. A good movie, but I didn't think it was worthy of the Best Picture. Crimes and Misdemeanors, Woody Allen's classic from 1989. Next we have Dead Man Walking from 1995, just a brilliant film. Tim Robbins directs, of course, Susan Sarandon and Sean Penn, about an inmate on death row. Dead Poets Society from 1989 with Robin Williams, a great film by Peter Weir. Next we have Tertsu Utsala, a great film by Akira Kurosawa in Japanese and Russian. Next we have Diner from 1982, great young cast that all sort of became famous in the 80s. Steve Guttenberg, Daniel Stern, Mickey Rourke, Kevin Bacon, Timothy Daley, Ellen Barkin, Paul Reiser. Next we have the classic Dr. Zhivago from 1965. Great movie. Next we have La Dolce Vita, classic Federico Fellini film from 1960 with Anita Ekberg, one of the most beautiful women of the 60s, or any generation for that matter. Next we have Doubts, a great film with Meryl Streep, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Amy Adams. The Dreamers, the original uncut NC-17 version, the only way to go, especially if you like Ava Green. Michael Pitt as well, great in this. Bernardo Bertolucci film. Next we have Driving Miss Daisy from 1989, great film with Morgan Freeman, Jessica Tandy, and Dan Aykroyd. Next we have Drugstore Cowboy, also from 1989, great film with Matt Dillon and Kelly Lynch. Next we have East of Eden, brilliant film from 1955 with James Dean, of course. An Education, one of my favorite films of 2009, sort of the first movie I saw Carey Mulligan in, and she blew me away. Her performance in this film is just brilliant. Okay, next we have The Elephant Man, a great film from 1980, of course, with Anthony Hopkins and John Hurt. Great David Lynch film. Next we have Elizabeth from 1998, brilliant film, of course, with Cate Blanchett, star-making performance. I wasn't really a fan of Elizabeth the Golden Age, that's why I don't have it. Next we have Elma Gantry, a great film from 1960 with Burt Lancaster and Gene Simmons, sort of a Bible-thumping story. Next we have Escape from Alcatraz, awesome film from 1979 with Clint Eastwood, directed by Don Siegel. And I'm going to end on the E's because we're up to 17 and a half minutes. So finally we have Evelyn. Brilliant performance by Pierce Brosnan, this great movie from 2002 from his Irish Dreamtime production company. So that is it for part 1 of drama. Up next, of course, will be part 2. So thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see ya.